Hey guys. Okay, today's video is going to be over how to find the volume of prisms. Your objective, you will be able to calculate the volume of rectangular and triangular prisms. So we have been working with surface area, which is the area of all the surfaces on a 3D figure. But now we're going to focus on volume. So volume is the number of cubic units needed to fill a solid figure. So now we are focused on how much the figure could hold. So we're going to pretend like we can take a figure and fill it with cubes, and we're going to see how many would fit inside of it. Now, we've been working with rectangular and triangular prisms, and we're going to continue to do that with volume. Now, I don't know why here you can't see this line, but it should look like that. Okay, so to find the volume of prisms, you are going to find the area of the base, and that is a capital B. So when you see a capital B, that means the area of the base, and then you're going to multiply it by the height of the prism. So let me go back to the first page and show you what I mean by that. So let's say that I only looked at the bottom layer of this rectangular prism. And let me show you what that would look like. Okay, so bear with me. I know my picture is not perfect, but if we had just this one layer of cubes, then we can see we have a 4 by 3 rectangle. And if we do 4 times 3, the area of this would be 12. Now, with volume, it's like we're taking this area of 12 and we're going to stack it. So if you look here at this figure, it would be like stacking it 5 times. So if we took that 12 and stacked it 5 times, we would have to do 12 times 5. So that means that the volume of this rectangular prism would be 60 centimeters cubed. Now it's cubed and not squared because we are literally finding how many cubes would fill that shape. Alright, so back to our formula. You're just going to find the area of the base, multiply it by the height of the prism, and that's going to find the volume. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is identify the base. Then you're going to calculate the big B, which is the area of the base. And we're going to label area of the base and the height, and then we're going to plug the values in to multiply and solve from there. So let's do some examples together. All right, example 1, calculate the volume. We have this rectangular prism. All right, now we are used to seeing all of the edges, so I'm going to fill that in. Now on a rectangular prism, whatever is shaded is going to be the base. Now since nothing is shaded in, we're just going to assume that the bottom is the base. So here's the base. Now the base is a rectangle and it has dimensions of 3 and 4. So for the area of the base, we would do 3 times 4 because it's a rectangle, so the area of the base would equal 12. So now we're going to find the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is going to be 12. So now volume equals the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is 12 and the height is 12. So the volume would equal 144 centimeters cubed. Now, for a rectangular prism, you've probably learned to do length times width times height. So whenever you do length times width, you're finding the area of the base and multiplying it by the height. So it all works out the same way. All right, example 2, we're going to calculate the volume. So I'm going to draw those edges in since we're used to seeing that. All right, there are no shaded sides, so I'm just going to assume that the bottom is the base. So now I need to find the area of the base. So the base is a square, and its dimensions are 5 by 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. So the area of the base is 25. Now the height of the figure would be this part right here, and that would be 5. So the height equals 5. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. Area of the base is 25. The height of the prism is 5. And 25 times 5 is 125. And that would be centimeters cubed. So again, if you just did length times width times height and did 5 times 5 times 5, you get the exact same thing. Alright, example 3, we now have a triangular prism. And I know it's a triangular prism because it has the two triangular bases. Now, with this one, we really need to focus on area of the base times the height. So if it is a triangular prism, then it has triangular bases. So here are the bases. But I'm only going to find the area of one of them. So for the area of the base, that is a triangle. So that's going to be base times height divided by 2. So remember, the base and the height on a triangle have to have a perpendicular intersection, which forms a right angle. So as you can see here, we have a right angle. So this triangle has a base of 4 and a height of 6. So that would be 4 times 6 divided by 2, which is 24 divided by 2, which equals 12. So the area of the base is 12. Now, we need to identify the height. All right, so here's the base. So the height is going to be basically the other number, okay? So the height is going to be the line that's connecting one base to the other. So that height is going to be 8 centimeters. So volume equals the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is 12. And the height is 8. And 12 times 8 equals 96. So it would be 96 centimeters cubed. Now, I want you to also think of this as if we took the area of this, we know it's 12, and then if we stacked it 8 times this way, we would multiply that by 8 and get a total of 96 centimeters cubed. Alright, example 4, we have another triangular prism. So we know that on a triangular prism, the triangle is the base. Now, for the area of the base, we know it's going to be base times height divided by 2. So this triangle has a base of 4. Now remember, the base and the height have to have a perpendicular intersection. This 7 right here does not intersect perpendicularly with the 4. This 6 represents what that would be. So the height is really 6. And we actually have the same dimensions as we did in the last problem. So that would be 24 over 2, which would equal 12. So the area of the base on this one is also going to be 12. Now the height, that's going to be the line that connects the bases. So we've got the triangular bases. So it's going to have a height of 12. If you ever have trouble finding the height, another trick, since this is a triangular prism, pretend that you could take the prism and stand it up so that it has a triangle on the bottom and a triangle on the top. Then the literal height of it would be 12 centimeters. So try to imagine it that way if you're having trouble identifying the height of the prism. Alright, so volume equals the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is 12, and the height is 12. And 12 times 12 equals 144. That would be centimeters cubed. Alright, so again, just like in the last problem, we can think of this as if we find the area of this triangle, we get 12 centimeters, and if we stacked it 12 times, we get 144 centimeters cubed. Alright, now it is time for you to try, so make sure that you answer your question in Educanon, make sure that you show all of your work in your spiral, and bring your notes with you to assist you on your assignment in class, and that about wraps it up.